This is Ultra Izzy.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Well, I just want to do a quick update on the Damar Hamlin story. You guys have probably already seen another channel do updates on this or probably read it online, but I wanted to give my take on it real quick. I do want to start by saying that I'm glad that he's okay. I'm glad that, all the conspiracy theories have been put to bed and that he is alive and well, and I hope that he has a bright future. But let's go ahead and get into it. He did do an interview. I want to say it's his first full interview with Michael Strahsn, the ex Giant player. And in the interview, he does ask him, "So what did the doctors say was wrong with you?"
You're 24, peak physical condition, can run circles around me right now. How did doctor describe what happened to you?
That's something I want to stay away from.
So the answer that he gave was kind of, I don't know, a little mysterious maybe, or it's a little just not very forthright. Honestly, after everything that's happened, I was really hoping he would say something. It really does raise more questions. So almost back, not square one, but we're sort of taking 2 steps forward and 3 steps back with this whole thing, because I really thought that after, we found that he's alive and everything, that all the information, all the truth was going to come out. And when he says, I want to stay away from that, it makes me think that either the NFL told him, maybe gave him a gag order. Maybe his doctors gave him some really troubling news. Maybe the doctors told him the truth, but he just, maybe, someone came and talked to him, something. All I know is that I just didn't like the answer. I know that it's his life. He can do whatever he wants, but honestly, millions and millions of people saw what happened, and millions of people have, have questions and maybe concerns about their own health, if you guys know what I'm talking about. And so, if he were to come out and say, "Hey, it's nothing to worry about. Hey, here's what happened," it could have helped a lot of people maybe ease their minds, but he didn't. Now, I do applaud him for telling the truth, and he just said, "I'm going to stay away from that. I'm not going to answer to that." So honestly, it's probably not the answer that a lot of people are wanting to hear. But again, it just seems more of a cover up. I'm not trying to get too crazy on the guy. He's been through a lot. I'm just saying it does seem like he's covering a lot up. Again, it could have been a gag order from the NFL. They could have told him lots of different stuff to do or not to say or whatever. And then Michael Strahsn does say in another piece of video that a lot of people are actually starting to learn how to do CPR.
Since this has happened, the interest in learning CPR and CPR training has skyrocketed. And that's the direct impact because of you.
Yep. Right now I'm teaming up with the American Heart Association. Mm-hmm. We're trying to get 3 million people to apply and to learn CPR. And that's something that I feel is important because it really did save my life that night.
So I did take the social media on that a while back, because I did read another story how, doctors and, schools and stuff are urging people to learn CPR. While I do think it's a great idea for everyone to learn CPR, right? Because I think that you just never know when something's going to happen. Part of my brain thinks that that they put that information out there because they know that there's going to be a lot more heart incidents happening in the next 5, 10, however many years, because of what's been going on in the world, if you guys know what I'm talking about. Again, I'm trying not to get canceled on YouTube here, but, so I do feel like that's kind of where they're going with that. And so I feel like, Michael Strahsn did sort of touch on that point, saying, hey, a lot of people are learning that. But honestly, it was already kind of floating out there anyway, that people are like, hey, we might see a lot more of this. So you might want to learn, everyone might want to learn CPR because you might save your loved one. Again, it's obviously it's a great thing to know any life-saving techniques, right? The Heimlich maneuver, all these other things, whatever, CPR, all these different things. I just think it's a little suspect that, that they put the story out there and Michael Strahsn brings it up. Again, I do think it's great to learn. I'm just saying it's just a little, I don't know, a little weird. It's just a lot of young athletes have been passing away suddenly, recently. Now, I will play devil's advocate. I did take to social media a while back, and someone did comment saying, "Oh, this happens all the time. People pass away from heart attacks all the time, or heart incidents, and no one just ever talks about it because there's never been sort of a bigger story behind it to really push that sort of thinking before." And I understand that, right? I get it. I could be like, okay, you're right. Maybe you're correct. She's a nurse. The person who was commenting is a nurse, and she could have, she makes a good point, right? No, people pass away every single day of different causes, and we don't talk about them. If for some reason there's some big story that has to do with sudden deaths having to do with cars, all of a sudden we're gonna start paying more attention to people dying in cars, right? Okay, so that makes sense. But I'm still not going to ignore the fact that, there's people who are way more knowledgeable than me on this subject, who are way smarter than me in this subject, way everything, more than me. And they pay attention to stuff. I'm not just going to just imagine that everyone's trying to profit or get clicks and clickbait, by saying that they died suddenly or that they, passed away, without a lot of knowledge and just, quickly passed away. Maybe, right? Maybe everyone's just kind of jumping on the died suddenly train. Maybe. But I'm gonna assume that they aren't. I would really hope that they're not trying to profit, off of just people passing away suddenly, because now we're all paying attention. But I will say a lot of these cases, people aren't really bringing up or saying why they're passing away. What the autopsy report comes out, they never come out with the information. They just go, okay, they died suddenly, and that's that. Which is kind of ironic, because whenever people got the jab, and other people were vaxxed and unvaxxed, the vaxxed were asking the unvaxxed, hey, did you get vaccinated? Because I don't want to hang out with you if you haven't, right? Everyone was, everyone wanted to know your status. But now all of a sudden, when people are starting to pass away, it's rude to ask, right? Oh, did someone so-and-so passed away suddenly? Were they vaccinated? Oh, how dare you ask? Well, you guys were asking me, last year, however long ago, if I was, to go in the building or get on the plane, all of a sudden, no one wants to talk about it anymore. That's just a social behavior that I've noticed. Again, it's everyone's medical business and history is their own issue. That's just sort of a kind of a hypocritical thing that I noticed. But I just don't know what's going on with this whole thing. I really do wish that Damar had more information to give us, because I do think he could really help ease a lot of minds, ease a lot of tensions, and kind of put the whole died suddenly thing or cardiac arrest, heart attack, all this stuff to bed. But unfortunately he didn't. So, I'm not really sure what's going to happen with that story. One last thing I wanted to bring up about Damar Hamlin was the jacket that he wore to the Super Bowl, guys. Some people were saying it's not a big deal. Again, I took to social media and people were saying, it's blasphemous what he put. I think even Adrian Peterson, the ex-NFL running back star, he said that it was blasphemous. And a couple other guys came out and blasted him for wearing that jacket, saying that it was just a bad light. I happen to agree. I don't think that jacket, it sort of made Jesus look like a zombie, and that he was sort of like a paper caricature, that because they showed the different pieces of clothing you can put on. And again, I had mixed results in the comments. Somebody said, hey, it's just an artistic interpretation or expression of our Lord and Savior. Okay, maybe. And I played devil's advocate, and I said, all right, you know what? Whenever Passion of the Christ, that movie came out, I think 2004, they showed Jesus look very, very beat up, very battered and bruised and bloody, and not a lot of people would want to see Jesus in that light. I happen to think it was really cool that they did that. They showed it. It was very raw, very real. I don't agree in a sense to what she said, but I can see her point. So I will leave it at that and saying I can see your point that you think it's an artistic expression, but I'm not the only one who thought that, because people who are, more popular than me, they have eyes too, and they apparently their opinions go a little bit further than mine. But we have the same opinion in the sense that I didn't like the jacket. I thought it did more harm than good. I think it's just a bad look. But again, it's not the end of the world. It's not a crime to wear that jacket. It's not a sin to wear that jacket. And, he's a believer and he's forgiven. And he surely won't be judged over some goofy jacket. But yeah, so that was just a last piece of information that I wanted to kind of discuss about Damar Hamlin. But guys, what do you guys think about Damar Hamlin's decision to to want to stay away from letting us know what's going on with what happened to him. Doctors told him something, he just decided not to tell us, or someone decided for him, right? I mean, the NFL, a billion-dollar corporation, right? They can make people not talk because they don't want to damage their brand. Although I do think that the NFL probably should do something. Probably should shed a little light on what's going on if it was something that had to do with that. And we all know what we're talking about. But I guess, I don't know. We'll never know. People are going to deny it. People are going to hide it. They're going to bury it. Too much on the line. So we'll just see what happens from here. I do hope that Damar is okay. I do hope that he lives a very, very long life. And there's no more updates, any negative ones anyway, right? Let's just have positive updates on Damar Hamlin, guys. But again, let me know your thoughts and comments on the story down in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you guys are thinking about this one. Also, let me know what you guys thought about that jacket. Was it blasphemous or was it just a cool jacket? Let me know that in the comments, guys. But again, thanks, you guys, for subscribing to the channel, for liking these videos, and for turning on those notifications, because it does let you guys know when I'm gonna have a new video, and that's always good. Also, guys, follow me on Twitter, Ultra Izzy. There, you guys can find ideas for my stories or just stuff that I can't really share on here. But until next video, like I always say, guys, stay fearless and stay free. And I'll see you guys on the next one.